Glad we're back on campus. Big week coming up with 2 home games. 2 great Big Ten opponents, and excited to get our guys in Rec Hall, turn the clock back a little bit, and that should be an awesome experience. And then Saturday's game with Coaches versus Cancer, as well as Alumni Day. Welcome back a lot of former players and friends of the program. Should be really neat. So we got to continue to keep moving forward here, and not good enough to win on the road. But we had a lot of good things here in the last month. We sort of got to get back to the basics. Keep working hard to keep moving forward. And I'm learning in the Big Ten. It's a grind. It's the dog days of February here. We just got to continue to try to get a little bit better every day. So that's the plan.
Mike, do you have an update on Kanye's status moving forward?
Yeah, Kanye's no longer with the team. Coach's decision, and then we're gonna just keep moving forward with and focus on the guys we got, the task at hand. Meach had a little bit of a procedure on Friday. He's day to day with his health, and hopefully we'll have him back here soon. It's all right, Nate.
I'm assuming you don't, but I have to ask the question. Do you care to elaborate on why the coach's decision for Kanye to no longer?
No. We'll move on and focus on task at hand with our team now.
And then what are the ramifications in terms of on the hardwood? How do you move forward as?
Next man up. Let's continue to build this the right way. Work really hard. Keep putting it together. And we've had a lot of good moments, just not consistent moments throughout this first year. And that's what we want to get back to. Get back to the level of consistency or fight for consistency, I should say, Nate, to continue to build it the right way.
Mike, following along what Nate said, some of the things we have to ask, and respectfully, was this at all injury related, or was this discipline related, medically related? Is there anything that you can tell us?
No, it just came to a point where we're at where, I, as the head coach, I made a decision to move on, and that's where I'll leave it.
Hey, Mike, just what's it going to be like for you guys playing in Rec Hall with all the history and tradition that has been there for Penn State basketball played there for so long?
Yeah, I mean, just exciting, different, right? One thing we talked about since my press conference is let's think outside of the box with scheduling and doing some different things with Penn State basketball. Excuse me. And this was one of them, and I really appreciate the administration and everybody working to make this work at so many different levels, from everybody over at the rec, the ticketing, people that move the court over there and all that stuff. I think it could be a really exciting thing. I said to the Hoops Club today at the luncheon, the last time I think I was about 8 years old, maybe 10 years old, when I saw a game at Rec Hall. I remember being in there in summer of '93, working basketball camp in Rec Hall. So now I get to coach a game there, and everybody here at Penn State gets this, experience it. So let's continue to think outside the box and keep working on things like that. So it should be a lot of fun. Be great for the students, great for our players and all the fans.
Mike, last week after Michigan State, it kind of sounded like you challenged your team a little bit in terms of, what they want out of this last stretch. With Kanye leaving and kind of being at this point in the season, I mean, how do you feel about the way your locker room is right now?
Well, I think we have a competitive group. I love that. I think we have guys that are mad and upset after losses. I don't like the result, but I love how their approach is. This is new to everybody, right? So going through a Big Ten schedule the first time, you're going to experience a lot of new things, and part of it is the gauntlet of it all, the intensity of it all, and how long it is, how long the journey of playing in the Big Ten is. So we're learning that as we go along, but I love how this group keeps coming back to work every day, and coming to practice and working, and guys sticking around afterwards and trying to get better. There's programs that don't have that, and we're trying to establish that, and we're trying to establish that identity. And it never goes exactly the way you want, and there's ups and downs, and there's adversity throughout the year. It's how you handle it, how you keep figuring out the next day. So, and that's what we're going to do.
Hey, Mike, you guys shot an abysmal performance the other day against this past weekend, and you guys scored a season low of 49 points.
Yeah.
What have you guys been working on to try and fix that, whether it's shooting?
Well, we took a day off. How's that? Because we needed that.
I saw you at a thon. It was a great speech, by the way.
Thank you. There's no dancing in me, so you weren't going to see that. But, we needed to get rest. We played 4 games in 10 days, okay, and we're beat up a little bit in health-wise. So, we want to make sure we're healthy, because you got to have fresh minds and fresh legs. That's huge in how we want to go about it. But, look, we got to make shots. It is what it is. When we've been making shots, our numbers are pretty darn good. But we had too many open threes on Saturday that we got to knock down, and we now we're back 2 home games here, 2 games on campus. Let's knock those shots down, and we got to take care of the ball. Those are what's I think most important for us right now is, all right, let's keep getting each other shots, but we got to knock them down, and we got to take care of the ball, and then I think we got to rebound better, which is. It's improved throughout the year, and it helped us some games, and I think the last couple of games we've just given up too many second shots.
Mike, how does Kanye's absence kind of change the shape of the offense moving forward?
Yeah, I mean, some guys are going to have to step up. Other guys are going to, move around in some positions and all that stuff. And you want to get to a place where you have a system where guys, feel comfortable no matter, what position they're in or how we go about it. It will definitely change some things moving forward. But, that's, just like injuries, you got to be ready to adapt and change and move.
Mike, as you're going through the grind of a first season in a program, how do you balance doing what's best for the program long term and doing what's best this minute, this game, this week?
Yeah, that's huge. That's huge, and there's things in your control that you got to learn from, and so it doesn't happen again. There's things out of your control. You just gotta understand and move on from them and figure things out. So, this isn't my first time at my starting a program, the first year, and everything. It's always changing. Things are different, and some things you expect to happen, and some things surprise you. But it's how you react to it. And the most important thing is the program. Is building a program on all the right stuff, and it's not perfect. It's not easy. But the fun of all of this is continue to build it the right way, and for it to continue to move forward, so there is success down the road for sure.
Hey, Mike, just to follow up on my earlier question, you said you were at a game at Rec Hall in 1993. What do you remember about that experience?
I worked camp at Rec Hall. I think it was the summer of '93. I worked Coach Parkhill's camp up here, and I remember being in the Rec a lot. And, I know my dad brought me to games, the Rec Hall, a few different times. I was really young, but I remember sitting in the bleachers, and the one thing I remember about Rec Hall more than anything is you were practically on the court. I remember watching so many games, Penn State games from Rec Hall, the early Big Ten games, and the fans right there on the court, and some of them were my friends watching when I was in college as well. So I remember that. So it's just the intimate atmosphere, really cool environment, loud. Hopefully it's hot. That'd be the fun of it.
Mike, Mark mentioned that making the best decision moving forward for the program with this. How does a decision like this set the expectation for the culture moving forward for the rest of the team?
I think every decision I make is based on the culture of our program, and how we dress, how what we put up on the walls, everything, every decision. So there's easier ones and there's really, really difficult ones. That's my job. but every decision is based on moving the program forward, and then sometimes those decisions are delicate and hard, but they also got to be made too.
Hey, Mike. Kudus has been held to single digits in each of the three previous defeats. I know he was sick for at least one of those games.
Yeah.
Just with Kanye moving on, do you think he'll be more of a focal point of the offense, possibly moving forward?
Yeah, we definitely want, definitely. He wasn't feeling well for the last 2 games, really 3 games, but he's feeling a lot better. The day off yesterday really helped him, and hopefully he'll be better this week here. But yeah, we need him. When he scores, that helps us tremendously. He finishes around the basket and drawing fouls. You saw him have some really good games here. We need that, and he's not the only one. I mean, the other guys stepping up in the scoring column is that's huge for us. And you didn't see that Saturday. Thought our defense was pretty darn good. They score a lot of points at home, and we just didn't didn't have an efficient enough offense. Missed a lot of open shots, and that we need them for sure.
This might be too in the moment, but from a broader perspective, do you have a time in the future where you think the program can reach some semblance of stability? Is stability a part of how you
Well,
build
in this
programs?
day and age of college athletics, stability is what you're reaching for all the time. That's a changing question all the time, right? With the way college athletics is, you hope based on relationships, putting down the foundation of what you're trying to do, that you build stability sooner than later. But it takes time, without a doubt. Everywhere I've been, and including a place like VCU, had it always has a winning tradition. It still took time to put stability down, your foundation of how you're going to go about and doing it. It takes time. We're impatient. Coaches are impatient. Players are impatient. Fans are impatient. But there's a process that you have to go through to build that stability. But I'm an impatient guy, so I want to do it sooner than later, Nate, for sure.
And I guess to build on it, is traditional high school recruiting a big part of that for you?
Yes, absolutely. And for me, but I want it to be a balance of that. I want to get. I love the development part, helping these young kids understand what it's all about, and watching them from their high school, junior, senior year. You get them and you help develop them into the players and the person and to a man. I take great pride in that. I really like that. There's some great success stories with that. That's really cool, and I want to continue to do that. So you want to have you want to be able to get high school kids that can come here and impact what you're doing, but watch them develop and grow. But also the reality of it is too, the way the landscape of college athletics has changed. You got to be prepared to dip into. We had to dive into the transfer portal. Hopefully, sometimes now it's more dipping into it and finding people the right fits for Penn State and for our program.
Mike, I'm thinking I maybe should know this, but can you refresh our memory on how this game came about? Did you inherit it? Was it already on the schedule, or did?
No, I talking to a lot of people, they talk about Rec Hall. It keeps coming up, so I know they played Princeton.
Louisiana Monroe.
What year? 2015. Was that the last time they played in Rec?
Louisiana Monroe was 17, 16.
So I thought that's a cool idea. Why wouldn't we do that again? And it's just something I brought up to Pat and Adam and administration, and they, if we could make it work, let's see if we can do it. And to do it this quick in the first year was great. So I really appreciate it, and I know there's a lot that goes into it behind the scenes that we all don't see every day, but I know a lot of people have worked on it and all that. So I just think it'd be a really, really cool thing for everybody.
And did Illinois have to sign off on this, or how?
No, because it's a home game for us, just like Palestra. We assign where the game's at.
Mike, just a couple points of clarification. When did you make the decision with Kanye? Sorry to beat the dead horse there, but and how did the team react when you told them about the decision?
John, I'm not going to make any more comments on that. We made a coach's decision, and we're going to move from there. Appreciate it, guys.